Welcome, everybody. This is the Rotary eClub of Silicon Valley. Every week, we are bringing you stories of people making a difference in the world in all sorts of different ways. Our club is part of Rotary International, 1.2 million members around the world, 36,000 clubs. The whole idea is just to make the world locally and globally a far better place. And we actually go to the trouble of doing so. Thank you very much. Our particular club is one for which technology, as you might guess, has a role. We believe in technology's potential to serve the business of service, and we have a special interest in innovation, entrepreneurship, and education. And in the space of being an entrepreneur, to be innovative about something that you should be educated about, we are going to talk today with Jeremy Wolf. You read his bio on the way in. I will add that he and I are both alums of Trinity University in San Antonio, Texas, as he would say, go Tigers. And I heard him at a recent thing being done by the university and thought, oh my goodness, we need to get this guy to talk to us. He has an interesting story to tell about a topic that I am sure we will be able to generate plenty of questions for. So with that, Jeremy, I hand it over to you. Welcome to the Rotary eClub of Silicon Valley.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. It's really cool when I get to come back and connect with the Trinity alumni, guys that really care about what I'm doing and what basically our community is doing since we graduated. It's really funny because this morning I was on a call with Dr. Don Moraes and Dr. Jacob Tingle. I'm still really close with a handful of professors, some of which are advisors or on the board of directors for More Than Baseball, and then for other projects I'm doing too. They're my go-to. So that's been the best part about the Trinity experience, is just the relationships and the connections that we make. Yes.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about More Than Baseball.
Yeah. More Than Baseball is a nonprofit organization that I started back in 2018, dedicated to helping minor league baseball players get access to affordable housing, food, equipment, career services, financial guidance, mental health coaching. The reason being is because when I played minor league baseball, I was drafted out of Trinity in 2016. I was in the 31st round, which they don't even have anymore. I was signed for $5,000 to play baseball for the New York Mets. It was really a dream come true. I grew up in Scottsdale, Arizona as a diehard New York Mets fan, and the opportunity to play for them was a dream, like a dream come true. It was the best phone call I'll ever get in my entire life. And when I got there, I was dismayed by the type of treatment that the players were receiving. We know as baseball players that playing minor league baseball is really difficult. We want to do it, but we know that it's hard. We know that it's a hard road. But when I can't afford a case of bats and I can't afford housing and I couldn't afford food a lot of the nights I was there, playing minor league baseball becomes less of an opportunity to excel at this craft, something I've given my whole life to, and it turns into something that I cannot, something I'm not able to manage. And what I mean by that is playing minor league baseball is so unbelievably difficult that the fact that players have to struggle to make ends meet makes it harder than it should be. And so the idea for More Than Baseball came about because I was released. I had a back surgery back in 2017, and within a month of getting released, within a month of surgery, I was released. I was released before I could walk yet, and which I know from my time at Trinity, and I know through my time in employment law and legalities of employees and their rights, that may or may not have been legal. But the fact that I didn't have anybody to go to meant that there needs to be a community built for players that need the assistance. And so More Than Baseball started off as this community of current and former players that dedicated themselves to actually fixing a problem that was once thought to be unfixable. What I mean by that is people in the minor league baseball space know that minor league baseball players are incredibly valuable to their team, to their organization, to their community. But when players can't focus on playing or recovering or developing, it's a waste of time to have them there. And so when I have these conversations, I like to frame that having minor league baseball players means that you have the opportunity to create future major leaguers. we need to have the opportunity as players to have everything at our disposal to become better baseball players. And so when we look at the landscape of minor league baseball right now, we see that these players are making between $5,000 and $12,000 per year. Guys are on the hook for their own housing, food, and equipment. Guys don't have access to mental health coaching or career transitioning. They are there to play baseball, and they are there being paid between $5 and $8 per hour, 70 hours a week to do so. And there is no union supporting minor league baseball players, but there wasn't going to be a union unless players got behind something and banded together first. And so More Than Baseball takes this idea of players for the longest time haven't had the ability to be together in an organization or having something out there to support them. More Than Baseball is the first thing in that space to have done that. And so when I have these conversations, I think that minor league baseball players are professional baseball players yet, but the fact that they're being treated so bad by the system itself is a reason of why we need to go in and do what we can in the system to make a change. And so we always say, like, a shift in perspective can move mountains. It absolutely can. When we turn the focus from minor league players have poor treatment to when we fix the problem within minor league baseball, we're supporting the growth of baseball, both in these local communities and around the world. When we help minor league baseball players get the things that they need, the baseball community will be stronger because of that. And we like to think that when focusing on minor league baseball players, we're focusing on the general game as a whole. And so we always say, like, if you love baseball, you love us. Our mission is to empower minor league baseball players with opportunities to live a better life during and after their careers. Before us, there was nothing helping minor league baseball players after their career. There was nothing helping minor league baseball players during their career. And so when we take these guys on an individual basis, guys who can't make ends meet, there needed to be something put in place to help support them. Because I know too many guys who say, I just can't do it anymore. I can't afford to do it. And I know too many guys who are 26, 27, 28 with not even a college degree or nothing on their resume to show for their time in professional baseball. And they're wasting their time in the off season or not building up relevant skills or opportunities that being a professional athlete presents them. The fact that we have these conversations, the fact that More Than Baseball exists means that the teams and the league needs to do more. And the fact that we've had tremendous amount of success means we're doing things in the right way. What I mean by that is we're unbelievably grateful for the opportunity to play professional baseball. The problem is the system itself does not support the growth and development of these players. That is the overarching issue, and we're showing how easy it is to fix that. So when we have these conversations, when we have this platform, we like to note that More Than Baseball is a tool for player development more than anything else. And to make a lasting impact in this space, More Than Baseball needs the opportunity to run the programs that we need to run, to be able to go into the communities, to be able to help assist players in the way that we know how. And we've had to pretty much bootstrap our entire organization for the last 3 years. And it's important to note that minor league baseball players are people too. And so when I left, luckily I had Trinity to fall back on. Luckily I had connections there. Luckily I never thought I was going to be a professional baseball player. So I had planned my life as if I weren't going to be. And then professional baseball presented itself to me. And now Olympic baseball has presented itself to me. And I'm just going with the flow. So I'll pay off my student loans eventually. Russia, we can talk about that later. Next, our strategy is to bring the league, MLBPA, and the teams together around helping players. Teams call us and say, how can I help? How can we help our players? Our players don't have housing. How can we help? I was having a conversation with, I won't say which team, but they're in the NL Central and they sucked for 108 years. And what they told me was, I said, how are you guys finding housing? And they're like, oh, they're doing it on their own. I go, do you have any like life skills coordinator as part of your organization? And they say, no, we don't. They're pretty much on their own when it comes to housing, when it comes to managing, education or learning these valuable skills. And I said, you're the Cubs. Like, why do you not have somebody on staff that's there to support minor league baseball players? So you're telling me you have 180 minor leaguers and none of them have anybody that they can go to for support? That's why I matter. That's why More Than Baseball matters. And so we're a valuable tool to these organizations, and we're a valuable tool to these kids because it's important to do this work, because it's valuable to the future of baseball that we do this work. What makes us valuable? Player development is the holy grail of baseball. Without the 13th rounder who sits in your bullpen and is in the major leagues for 15 years, you're not going to win World Series. When you look at who comprises Major League Baseball rosters, it's not just first, second, and third round picks. You have guys from the 10th to 20th rounds who are really good ball players who just need the proper focus and opportunity to develop, that a lot aren't given. It shouldn't be based on signing bonus. It should be based on the fact that, do these guys have what they need at their disposal to sleep, eat, and perform better? The difference between hitting 300 and 250 is 3 hits. So if you're in player development or you're a general manager and you go, how can I get my minor leaguers to play better? And the difference is 3 hits. What can I do? I can help provide them housing. I can help them get a mattress. I can help make their food better. I can get them quality mental skills coaching, maybe independent of their own organization, because we know guys that won't speak to their mental skills coach because, like me, if I needed to maybe drink a little or smoke a little before bed to go to sleep because I'm so stressed out and my body hurts and I don't have what I need to survive in playing professional baseball, I'm not going to tell my team that. And so these guys are on an island. These guys don't have what they need in front of them to perform at the level that they should. Like I said, like drafting and developing late round picks can turn into unbelievable, immense value at the major league level. So look at this economically, like look at this as an investment. You spend $20,000 on a guy and he gets to the major leagues, he's then worth $545,000 or more if he performs well in the major leagues. So it's interesting when we take the concept of minor league baseball, guys that are treated horribly across the board, and put it into the context of these are future major leaguers if we treat them properly. If not, they don't make it. Set them up for success. So getting cut is not the end of the world. You're going to create better culture because of it. Why should player development matter? Now, I did all this research and I wrote all this before the Houston Astros got caught, I don't know, cheating. So bear with me because I haven't really thought of a better example than what the Astros did on an organizational level, other than all that bullshit and then the sticky stuff and then the banging. And I'm so mad at baseball right now. But anyway, from 2016 to 2019, the Houston Astros traded away 16 top prospects for Justin Verlander, Garrett Cole, Ryan Presley, and Roberto Osuna. Because of those 4 guys, it increased their winning percentage close to 18 to 20%, and the Astros got 46% of its pitching WAR from those 4 players that they traded away for prospects. And so when we look at how valuable prospects can be, we can create or extend championship windows when we take the fact that minor league baseball players are these assets that teams can use. The fact that teams aren't using them properly is baffling to me. I'm sorry if I'm going over 10 to 12 minutes. I'm locked in right now. And the Astros won the World Series in 2017. So when we look at the value of minor league baseball players, we look at how important they are to the team and this community of baseball, right? It's unbelievably baffling that More Than Baseball exists. And it exists because these teams don't see the value in minor leaguers as they should. It's not just first, second, third round picks. When you look at what's comprised in Major League Baseball, it's the vast majority of guys are not first through second round picks. It's just not. It's a collective of guys that grinded their way through the minor leagues. And imagine if they didn't grind, the quality of talent that would come up through the ranks, or the quality that you could trade away for pieces. So where does More Than Baseball come in? Housing. We help guys find affordable housing. We just raised in 2020, we raised $1.6 million. And I don't have this in the presentation because I literally just got this information about 30 minutes ago from Slade Heathcott, my co-founder, former first round pick, former New York Yankee. And we got our audit back and we had raised $1.6 million and distributed 96% of it back to the mission and the community. From the Major League Baseball Players Trust, which is an arm of the Major League Baseball Players Association, from Adam Wainwright, Daniel Murphy, from David Dahl, Max Scherzer, Ryan Zimmerman, Sean Casey, like major league stars go, minor league baseball players need support, and I'm going to do what I can to give back. Tommy Pham, Edwin Jackson, Jed Lowry's wife is on our board. She's fantastic. And so there's this entire community that we've cultivated on the fact that minor league baseball players need to be treated better. And the fact that I exist means that it hasn't been fixed yet. So diet, nutrition, equipment, career services, financial guidance, and mental health coaching. These are all programs that we run at no cost to the player, and that we have to run basically bootstrapped because we're trying to find donors to help sponsor them. The major leaguers donated to our player grant program, which was direct financial assistance during the lockdown and when players weren't getting paid and weren't playing last year. We allocated about $50,000 of that to housing grants. Basically, players who are living 6, 7, 8 to an apartment who can't afford a mattress and who are sleeping on couches and air mattresses right now, they can apply for a grant, and we can help them find and access affordable housing and help them break leases because you go to an apartment complex and you can't get a 4-month lease. So what if you get brought up or sent down? The teams don't cover that. And so you're on the hook for your own housing, food, and equipment. Like it is an issue that teams don't care about because they're like, the prospects will make it up. That's not the case when you have 180 minor leaguers and there's no system in place that's there to support them. A lot of what we do, we focus on the community as well. So when you have an understanding of minor league baseball players have these tools at their disposal brought to them by More Than Baseball, we can then go back in the community and say, these minor leaguers are more than baseball players, and we're doing this youth camp and helping pay them for their time. We're raising thousands of dollars for the programs of More Than Baseball so that we can continue to operate. By doing that, by creating this community in minor league levels or across minor league baseball at the 120 affiliates that are left, we create more lifelong fans. We utilize the resources to develop baseball in that community, and we revolutionize the way that kids and adults see the game when they're speaking to and being impacted by minor league baseball players. The community itself is going to be stronger because of it. And internationally too. I'm on Team Israel for the Olympics. We're trying to raise money to help distribute equipment and helping finish the fields that are trying to be built in Israel because more baseball is better for baseball. I just truly believe that. A stronger minor league system is better for baseball. So more kids are going to see the fact that I can go play professional baseball and it's actually going to impact me and support my family rather than seeing the fact that scholarships are dwindling in Division I college baseball. I didn't even get one at Trinity. We can talk about that later. When we look at football and basketball, the ability for them to kind of have a stronger relationship with kids nowadays. Kids don't know who Mike Trout is. He's the best baseball player of all time. Kids don't have any idea who he is because MLB is not marketing him as they should, and they're not letting people market Mike Trout as they should. I can see Steph Curry highlights all the time. I can see Kyler Murray highlights on Instagram all the time. I can't see baseball highlights because baseball is locked itself in this corner and still doesn't allow me in Arizona to watch Diamondback games. So if I'm on my phone and I'm a kid and I just want to watch the D-backs because I'm in Arizona, I can't. I'm blacked out. So baseball has locked itself into this place where they want to own the rights. Well, less people are going to watch because you're giving less people the opportunity to do so. More Than Baseball thinks that we can come in and use minor leaguers to help build the game at that youth level again. What's in for the players partnering with More Than Baseball? Access to affordable housing, food, and equipment, allowing players to actually focus on their development and recovery and help set them up for success when their career is over. Our job is to make sure that minor league baseball players literally have what they need, and they finally, because of us, have somebody to call if they have anything. Like I didn't when I was released within a month of having back surgery, and I couldn't get up yet to get my phone. So why do people give? Why do we have 30 consistent monthly donors? Why do we have overall 100 and I think we're at like 550 total donors, including major leaguers and just baseball fans. Like, why do donations matter? So we can run our programs. So we can help support the growing baseball community. So we can help support baseball overseas. So we can help Venezuelan players, Dominican players, support their families. So we can help house and equip and feed minor league baseball players. So we can make the baseball community better and stronger. And we can actually take care of a team that can do that. And so right now, More Than Baseball is a very unbelievably passionate hobby of myself and my team. And we're just doing what we can with the resources that we are given to operate More Than Baseball in a way that goes and supports our mission, but it's unbelievably taxing. And we're trying to make sure that we can have a team around us to help support that mission. So the way I just really threw at you guys was a new way to think about why minor league baseball is important and why player development is important. And so, I've given this presentation to teams before, and they say, "Wow, that's a great idea." And I go, "Yeah, and?" They go, "Okay," because player development staff go, "There's nothing I can do. My hands are tied. I can't write the checks." So what really needs to change is the fact that the people writing the checks can see this as a value, and because they're so distant and locked away from it, they don't see it. They don't care. Virally, a few weeks ago, like the Oakland A's AAA food or AA food was just like a piece of cheese on bread, and everyone's like, "This is what minor leaguers eat. Like, this is unacceptable." And the A's go, "We can't believe that actually happened." Yes, they can. Like, this is no secret. This is no joke. My friends are playing AA tonight. He's going to be paid $8 an hour. He's getting paid below minimum wage. He's making less than the bat boy day after day. And so that to me, that needs to change. And I think it's important that we continue to do this work because it's more valuable to me to create a better baseball community than to just leave it hanging. And so, boy, I went over time, but I think it's unbelievably important that the fact that we're having this conversation is, number one, it good because more people need to understand like what the baseball community is actually going through. But number two, it's like having this platform just means that we're doing the right thing, and I think people are listening to it in the way that we're hoping. And that's, if you love baseball, you love us. And I yield my time. I don't know what is that.
All good, Jeremy. All good. All good. I am excited for us to jump into some Q&A on this as well, because when we think about the idea of what a minor league team can be to its community, I mean, I think very specifically of the San Jose Giants right here. I'm less than 20 minutes right from getting to a San Jose Giants game. It's a community, right? It's a thing of pride for the community. And that means that the players have the opportunity to be role models to kids in the community, right? But only if they not like spending their time trying to figure out how can I get my next meal. So in looking at this, what kind of feedback have you been getting from teams related to community relations benefits for better treatment of players?
Yeah, it's an interesting question because when I talk to like the mental skills coach of the Arizona Diamondbacks and I say, how many mental skills coaches are there? And he says 3. And I go, how many players you got? And he goes, 180. I'm like, you can take care of 60 guys? How many speak Spanish? 1. You have like 120 Spanish speaking players. So when it comes to overall in the organizations, like mental skills coaches, player development staff, managers, they all want their players to perform better. And I think too, like when it comes to like the community, when the players have the ability to maximize their earning potential in professional baseball, the community will benefit from it. Because like if this player can be a professional baseball player, he'll be able to do more in the community instead of having to find a job or only doing things so he'll get paid. I think when you give somebody the freedom to be in the community or do things out of the goodness of his heart, or the fact that like he has this platform, I think it's ultimately better for baseball. I will say real quickly that like when we talk about this, like not once did I mention raise their salary. Absolutely, that would fix the problem. But until minor leaguers get paid $30,000 a year, it's really not going to make a difference to argue whether or not they should get paid. Obviously, that's the case. It's the intermediate. It's what can we do right now to show that it's really easy to fix the problem. What can we tell the community? Like, what can we tell fans? What can we tell teams? And so, like the Chicago Cubs, all of COVID, we'd send our emails out. They would copy and paste what we wrote and send it to their players. And that means I think we're doing the right thing because teams are understanding that.
All right, Nick, I know you have a question.
Yeah. So I'm very curious. For me, it has to be outcomes based. I think about it from my job. I think about it from, obviously we measure all these things in baseball, and you actually highlighted that, like, the investing in the prospect then obviously has as an asset is valuable as well. How do you show in your organization the value of somebody being supported? Because I would think this seems like you're bringing passion, and I love your passion. It also seems like if we're so driven by the numbers and we leverage those numbers, then you would think that, hey, this person got the support and then they got those 3 extra hits. Like, it seems like, I'm sure then maybe they won't believe you that was the reason, but I'm curious about how you're measuring it and how you're proving it.
If you look at it in terms of like an investment, and if I'm investing in this company, and the business owner is not doing everything it can to maximize the potential of its product, as an investor, you'd say, why are you not doing that? Oh, because the system itself doesn't matter? Like, why would you not do everything at your disposal to help your players perform better at their job, help your business perform better because of it? I think I didn't mention like the root cause of all this. The 1938 Fair Labor Standards Act says minor league baseball players are subject to are considered seasonal interns and apprentices under the law, basically negating minor league baseball players from the antitrust, right? So minor league baseball players are antitrust exempt from making minimum wage or making overtime or having full rights under the law because the 1938 Fair Labor Standards Act says that it is so. Back in 2018, I started More Than Baseball the day the Save America's Pastime Act came out, which is a bill, like it's like 140 words that was slid into like an omnibus spending bill. And it said minor league baseball players legally under the law are negated full employment rights and not subject to minimum wage or overtime based on that initial 1938 ruling, lobbied by Major League Baseball they spent $6 million lobbying Congress to put that in because they just don't want to pay minor leaguers because the system itself is not set up and conducive to the development and potential of these athletes. If an athlete comes in, gets paid $30,000 a year, has what he needs in front of him, you're going to see a better baseball player and you're going to see more kids play baseball.
So clearly, you would have those who would say, all right, well, that cost would just be passed along to the fans. But my thinking is that the major league teams are making plenty of money that they could be investing in their minor league teams. Dean, actually, I should let you add your comment as well. Sorry, I had to leap on that particular one. Keep going.
That's all right. I just wanted to say to Jeremy, I just think it's wonderful that you're doing this, that you stepped up and that you have started to pull together people, clearly hundreds of people who feel the way you do. And it's easy to think, well, this is a commercial environment and let the market take care of it. But it's not a free and open market, and there's nothing really that help them find a way to do work that they love, particularly when their work is appreciated, valued by by a community, by others, but that value isn't translated into a monetary reward. And to be able to just give them the chance to do the work they love with some dignity. And I think that's at the bottom of it all. That's really what you're doing, is allowing them to do their work with dignity.
I like this guy, Dean. He gets it. Yeah, absolutely. Right? Like, I have this fleeting moment to play professional baseball, and I'm not being paid anything. I'm being paid less than minimum wage. I don't have the opportunity to unionize because if there's a sniff of building a union, I'm going to be cut. I'm never going to play professional baseball again. I'm going to be blackballed. I'll CC Slade Heathcott on that, who was blackballed from playing professional baseball because of the issues that he had raised within the Oakland A's organization. He was hitting like 290 with 5 home runs, and they cut him because he was just talking and speaking openly about the issues that he saw within his organization. And he was a AAA, and he was a first-round pick. And when you have a first-round pick who speaks that way about it, who got to the major leagues, who was a New York Yankee, like, that carries weight. When you have a 31st round pick who played Division III baseball, I saw it at a different angle, and I'm passionate about it because of different ways. But ultimately, like, the success of More Than Baseball is built solely on, if I'm in high A right now, or if I'm just any minor league baseball player, and I want to be successful at this thing, and the organization I play for doesn't value me or doesn't give me the tools at my disposal to be successful at my job, and nobody else is, what does that do, number one, for this guy or his family? But what does it do for the game? Like, the game already has so many problems. There's the sticky stuff and the cheating and the not punishment and the steroids and all of that. And you see it's becoming more white than it ever has been, and it's more expensive than it ever has been. And there's less college scholarships than there ever have been. And baseball is just, in the next 5 years, if it doesn't turn it around, it's going to be the 4th or 5th sport in terms of popularity. But no one's going to listen to me because they're making billions of dollars a year, and that's increasing because of those TV contracts. When we look at the root where baseball is at the community level, More Than Baseball has been successful because we've stepped in the correct ways. That's throwing youth camps, that's connecting the community to baseball players, that's showing the personality behind professional baseball players, more than just major leaguers and more than just the 5 major leaguers that any random sports fan can name. When he sees a pair of cleats that we do, we call them MTB kicks. We buy the cleat. The major leaguer will wear them. He'll design them. He'll sign them. He'll auction them off, and we'll raise money for More Than Baseball. And the Philadelphia Phillies will tweet about the cleats that we did that go back to support minor league baseball players. They got absolutely roasted, and I feel so bad for the social media manager that I was talking with. And I was like, hey, we're doing this thing with Rhys Hoskins today. He's wearing our cleats. Our logo is on the back. We'd love your help promoting it. And they said, Rhys Hoskins wearing cleats supporting minor leaguers through the work of More Than Baseball. And they got absolutely roasted. And I said, hey, thank you so much for supporting us last night. And she goes, we got absolutely roasted. And so it's not her fault that the Phillies treat their players poorly, but it's the system itself that's just unwilling to change because it's been done for so long. And we're showing the value in changing it. And I want to see lasting change happen. And when it is, I can wipe my hands and move on to the next thing. But until that point, so much work needs to be done.
Well, you're doing a lot of work to make sure that you speak up for those who need to be spoken up for, I should say. As we have hit about that time, what I will do is wind things down before we hand it back to Jeremy for the final word. And so all of you who are joining us for this program, thank you very much for doing so. We hope that you are enjoying the kinds of things that we share with the different speakers we find from around the world. You are welcome to come back anytime, obviously. Our meetings and programs are 24/7, 52 weeks a year. Thank you very much. And if you let us know you are here and you are a visiting Rotarian, then by having successfully typed in your email address properly, you'll be able to get a note that you can share with your club secretary that you can use for making up a missed meeting for your own club. And if you would, let us know what you think of the program. There are plenty of spaces towards the bottom in our discuss section where you can respond to other people's comments or add your own. Anything that's part of the meeting, the inspirational video, the ideas that were shared in Happy and Sad Dollars, whatever it may be. feel free to let us know kind of what's on your mind. We love to engage with folks that way. As we like to do, we hand it back to our speaker for a final word. So Jeremy, finish us off.
That's a lot of pressure. Thank you. No, thank you guys. Like, thank you guys for giving me the ability to speak on something that I'm unbelievably passionate about. And my final word is like, I fucking love baseball. And it may seem like I'm doing this so the New York Mets win a World Series. It's not only the case. But the baseball gods might be kind to us sooner rather than later. But I think I just want to leave everybody with like, more than baseball has been like an absolute passion project of mine and myself and Simon Rosenblum Larson, who's AA right now with the Rays, and Slade Heathcott, who's the co-founder, and so many advisors and people and board of directors and teams and the thousands of people that have donated and or bought shirts or participated or follow us on social media or engage with us, or just players, 3,000 players that are in the organization, 3,500 now, and that all say like, thank you for helping me. It's worth it because there's a guy out there that goes, I'm able to play professional baseball because of what More Than Baseball is able to provide. And because of that, we're able to teach the game around the world. We're able to speak on the values that baseball has. We're able to create a better baseball community because we just speak about it the right way. And we're just really unbelievably passionate about it and are hoping one day just to do this as my full-time profession, and myself and Slade and Simon, just to be able to do this work. And so to call it my job or to be Jeremy from More Than Baseball and people know what that is really cool for me. And I'm happy that when I say things about helping ball players and people go, oh yeah, that makes sense. It means we're just saying and doing things in the way that it should be done. And so I'm just trying to leave baseball better than how I found it.
Wonderful. May all of you who have been following this conversation follow your passions, and we hope we will see you next week.